What's up, you guys? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very nice day. It's been a long time since I uploaded a video to this channel. I've been more active in my other bonsai channel, but I thought I'd give you a quick little update and a little operation that I'm going to do on this tiny uh, Paludarium slash Terrarium that we feature. I think it was in the last video. You can see it is going well. It's doing okay. But there are a couple of things that I could tweak here and there, so that the project, the little project continues. And also a couple of things that I wanted to mention. Uh, I remember that the first time that we planted the moss, I planted a little tuff here, and that didn't make it. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove it. And at the moment, I'm just leaving all the gunk over here, by the way. And at the moment, I'm a little low on moss. I had a couple of trays that I use for my projects, but since the summer started and the temperature went up like crazy where I live, hitting the hundreds Fahrenheit, it's been very difficult to maintain it. So I neglected it for 1 or 2 days, and it was all gone. So that's why I'm a bit low on that. But I intend to get more in the future, in the near future. So if we look in the inside, we can see that some of the little plants are doing better than others. For example, this hydrocotyle, Japanese pennywort, and let me see if I can zoom in. You will see that the bucephalandras are still there. The rotala I completely removed, but the mini bucephalandras are still there, and these are slow growers, so I'm not too worried about that. I also planted a couple of little Eliocaris plants. This is a hair grass plant. It's really, really easy to grow, but I gotta be careful because it can be a bit invasive. So I'm gonna be careful with that. And over here, we got a nice little patch of moss that actually survived. And this looks horrible at the moment because I got two cats in my house. And look at all the cat hair that we got on this. Um, it's very difficult to clean, but I will try my best to do that because, it doesn't look right. Another thing is that you will notice that the little swamp cypress that we planted last time looks very different, and that's because I had to remove it. I had to plant another little twig. This has been here for a month, maybe. So this one definitely took, but last one didn't. So sometimes it happens. Sometimes you can plant something and it already has roots and it looks really, really good, and but for some reason or another it just doesn't take, and that's what happened with the last one. This one, however, and the other one that I uprooted from my mini crystal pond last time is actually doing very, very well. So maybe I'll show it to you. But it's just a little swamp cypress like this, and this one you can see that it's putting out new growth, so that's perfect. That's really, really good. So what we're going to do today is we're going to cover this section of the build with a little bit of dirt, like just regular garden soil. That's going to be like the mattress, like the vase for the moss to continue to grow in, or in this case on. We're also going to plant a little bit of moss that I got in this little jar, this little container here. You don't see it because of the condensation, but I do have some there. And yeah, that's going to be it. I might show you a couple other little projects that I have right here, but this is going to be, like I said, a very short video. Anyway, so I'm just going to put the phone down. Oops, sorry. Let's see. Here we are. There we go. And over here, I've got the dirt that I'm going to use. And if you try to grow moss before, you will notice that the more clay based that your soil is, it seems that it grows the better. So what I did is I took a little bit of dirt, just your regular dirt, from a nursery bag where a little plant was growing, Actually, it was a little juniper, and I just sifted it a little bit so that I removed the little needles, the little pieces of bark here and there. Yeah, and you can see that immediately starts to soak up the water from the bill. That's exactly what we want. We want a soil that is perpetually moist so that the little moss can take, you know? So with my tongues here, I'm gonna push it around to where I want it. And I'm gonna make sure that I cover pretty much everything and that we got more surface area for our moss. So fairly easy, but it's definitely something that you have to do. If we left it there, no dirt, no nothing, the moss would eventually start growing on the substrate that we used to plant the little cypress. But it's going to take longer. So even though this requires some degree of patience, I'm not that patient. you know, in fact, making bonsai trees and building terrariums and this, it actually teaches you to be patient. So I'm still learning. Yep, I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to take the moss out of a little container. And there is one little patch in particular that I want to use because the other one seems to be moss variety that it's very long fibered. Uh, think sphagnum moss, and that's pretty much what it is. Look at this one, for example. Let's see if it focus. Let me just. There it is. It's not that much, and you can see that the strands at the base are the remains or the material that I used to actually grow it. Let me see if I can focus again. But yeah, what I'm interested is in the green top that we have there that indicates that this moss is still active and growing. So I'm gonna prune the vase and plant the rest. Okay. So give me a minute. I'm gonna get that ready, and then we'll continue. Okay, so we're back. I got my mouse at the ready here, and now all we have to do is just place it where we want it. I managed to get this little tuft right here. You can see that it's like a couple of strands, that sphagnum moss-like variety that I told you about. And I think it would look cool. I'm not sure how likely this is to survive, but I think, we can give it a shot. If it doesn't, we just remove it and that's it. Yeah. So we put it there, and this is the little piece that I'm most interested in. It's definitely green, it's definitely alive, and that's it. Sorry. It seems that the camera went out of focus when I put it in, but I just pushed it in. And, something that I heard somewhere, I think it was years and years ago, this YouTuber was growing bonsai trees in 100% sphagnum moss. And he was saying in his videos that were very entertaining, by the way, that whenever you planted moss on something, you had to make sure that the water from the bottom actually came through the moss, and that was like a very good indicator that your moss was going to take, because it indicated that the water was flowing. So we did that here. We pushed it a little bit so that the water came a little bit up, and yeah, let's see what happens. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that when you replenish the water, you should try and use reverse osmosis water as much as you can, because even if you use that, um, the little minerals in the soil, the little minerals in the substrate and the stones, whatever, they are going to dry up in the glass wall, or in this case, on the this surface right here, and you're going to see this unsightly line over here. The first couple of times it's going to be very easy to remove, but if you neglect this, if you forget about it, it's going to be very, very difficult to remove. So I'm going to do this off camera some other time, but yeah, that's definitely something that you have to keep in mind. So I'll keep you updated in this little project. I really like it. Maybe it doesn't look like much at the moment, but the thing with these little projects is that they continue to get better and better progressively with time. So the last thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you a couple of little projects. These are bonsai projects, but since these are micro projects, then I thought it would be a good idea to show you these in this channel. This is a Japanese black pine. I have many of these growing large, growing a large size as bonsai trees. I want to see what happens. You know, these are very sturdy, these are very hardy. They adapt themselves to a variety of different environments. But the thing here, and with this little pond in particular, it seems like it's cursed or something. The cats are drawn to it. Like they see something little, they see something that they can toss around, and they are drawn immediately to it. And so I try to keep this out of reach, see what happens. Yeah. So you can see that it's, you know, got the mature needles on top, and I might plant some moss at the base in the near future. So that's the first one. And the second one, it's over here. I think you've seen it in other videos of mine, but it's like a larger project. It's, again, a fishbowl. But I planted these little plants here. And of course, I planted a little cryptomeria or Japanese cedar. And you can see that the composition looks really, really good. I actually sell these on Facebook Marketplace, and people seem to like them. And they're very, very easy to take care of. You can see that I'm using bonsai soil at the base. Well, I don't know if you can see. But the only thing that you need to get a hang of is watering and location. If you keep it in a place, for example, next to a window where it doesn't receive like full sunlight, it'll do very well. You know, over here, cup of coffee. I got some juniper ones over here as well. So these are really, really cool little projects. And yeah, maybe in the future I'll show you how I make one of these. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I have for the moment. I hope that you continue to have a very good day, weekend now. If you have any doubts, comments, questions, anything, drop them down below. Subscribe to the channel. You will be really helping me out if you did. Subscribe to my other channel, the Bonsai channel. And yeah, I'll see you next time.